Hi, I'm Mitch Shoemaker, and today is day 52 of my doing 100 days of YouTube videos and focusing on today. I think yesterday was day 52, today is day 53. I think today's day 53, I'm sorry. I need to look at my videos before I make the next one so I remember what day I'm on, because oddly enough, the closer I get to 100 and the further away from one, the more confused I get as to which day that I'm on. It's kind of hard to remember. But I think I did 52 yesterday, so we'll go with 53 today. So apologize, my day's all mixed up there. Anyway, I slept today. I struggled to make myself get up for church, and then I just kind of watched it on the little Zoom and then went back to bed because I'm so tired today. 2 days in a row. So again, I work for 2 days and then I sleep for 2 days apparently. This is why I need to do that every other day thing, so I can, at least feel like I'm productive. But I did get a little bored this afternoon and wishing I had something else to do. I didn't really have the energy or the motivation to do anything, just bored of laying around and playing games on my phone and watching TV, and tired and not able to sleep because I'd slept for too long. And I was journaling tonight and realized that it reminds me a lot of when I had mono when I was like in junior high. And it just kind of sucks because it's like, okay, you're just tired but bored of, hanging out in your room all day and not having anything to do and sleeping most of the time. But then it's like you slept so long that you can't sleep anymore, but you're too tired to do anything else. It's really, and then you hang out with people for a little bit and you're like, hey, I'm going to fall asleep now. Sorry. Only been awake for 2 hours, but I'm going to go back to sleep now. It kind of reminds me a lot of my mono from childhood. So reliving things in my life. But as a kid, I didn't care, and I had siblings and other people running around the house. So I had people to talk to, things to entertain me, tons of books to read. I have books to read too. I just keep forgetting to do that. But now I live by myself. I don't interact with people all the time, and if I do, it's like short little bursts. So it's I don't know. It's not as fun as when I was a kid. I'm not saying that being homesick was fun. It was just different. It's a different experience as an adult, and lots of other responsibilities and things that weigh on my mind. So just different, and just wishing I had more energy to do stuff. And of course, Mom Shoemaker called me tonight and brought me dinner again. I'm like, cool, I love this every Sunday, getting dinner. I used to go to their house every Sunday for dinner, so it's kind of nice that they bring me dinner on Sundays. Yummy food, and of course, leftover food that will last me for another meal or two, which is awesome. So very grateful and appreciative of that, of course. And then, oh, see, so tired. And then I just stayed up late because I put off reading my scriptures and meditationals today. Mostly, I think, because there is one thing that I'm putting off and avoiding. And if I'm perfectly honest, I have to say that because it's occurred to me that as I'm starting to feel better, that Sundays were the day that I would work on my emotional stuff that I was sharing with my vision board friend. And I thought about doing that today. And I didn't want to deal with it today, which is okay. I don't have to. It's just something that I wanted to get myself to do, that I was doing before I got sick and not doing a lot of things, to work on my emotional stuff and just have that one day that I could bring up stuff from the past and work through and cry and deal with. And then, I wasn't spending every day focused on things from the past. But I I didn't do that. I thought about it, so that I kind of just put off doing everything else. And then, of course, I was daydreaming a lot today, which means I started thinking, I'm like, if I'm going to daydream, I should be just writing. I should get out my laptop and be typing this up. I wish I'd thought of that when I was daydreaming. I didn't think about that till I was writing in my journal. And then I'm like, oh yeah, maybe I'm starting to get to, maybe I don't have energy to stand in my kitchen to do my dishes, but maybe I can sit on my laptop and type up something for a little bit, which then I'm using, at least that I could feel like I'm using my time more wisely than just playing games on my phone or watching Netflix or something when I don't have the energy to do other things, because my mind is much more active. My mind is what has the energy right now. And I'm like, cool. I wish my body had the energy to go with it so that I could do all the stuff that my mind is thinking of. And I do know that in time, I'm hoping that in time, if I continue to work and do things, that I will be able to rebuild muscles and energy in my body, and I will be able to do things, maybe not ever do things like I could when I was in my 20s, but I could still be able to do things and have more energy, and that would be a good thing. But it takes time to build that up. It's not something I could do overnight. And as I was reading my scriptures tonight, I was amazed as how much I relate to things in them and how helpful they are to me. And I was reading about it didn't say not running faster than you're able, but it just said don't do more than you're physically able to, or something. I can't remember. It makes me want to look it up and read it so bad. I'm like, I want to look it up. I want to read it. Because it was good, and it worked for me. And I think it was something about being diligent, and I was like, I'm being diligent by doing my videos. I've done one every day in spite of how I have felt, which is just amazing to me that I could do that. So if I can remember where that is, I'm looking it up. I'm being crazy. No, I don't see it. Dang it. I thought it was like right here at the bottom of something. See, I shouldn't do this. I should do this before I do a video and not try to look up stuff. Maybe it was somewhere else. I don't know. I don't even know. Anyway, doesn't matter. I'll put it away. I apologize. That was my brain going somewhere else. I'd have to look it up. All I know is it said something about not doing more than you had something to do with not doing too much, or taking on too much at once, not doing more than you're able to, but being diligent. So, but that really helped me today, just because like I said, I was feeling bored and I've been struggling not having energy. And it's just the reminder that I'm being diligent. I haven't given up. I've continued to do my videos. And maybe I'm not 100% consistent with how I do things or when I do things, but I'm trying, and I haven't given up completely. I've taken breaks, I've paused, but I always come back because I know that this is what makes me happy. I know that reading my scriptures and meditationals makes me happy. I know that being close to my Savior and feeling that Spirit makes me feel lighter and better and gives me hope for the future. And I'm very grateful for that. I'm very blessed to have that knowledge in my life, and to find things to focus on, to be grateful for. And I have been trying to focus on something to be grateful for every day. I hope I've said something I'm grateful for every day. And I know focusing on today has been really hard for me because it's so easy for my mind to wander into daydreaming or into how my life is going to be tomorrow or next week or next year or whatever, and forgetting that I'm in today, and I can only deal with today. And as long as I'm doing the best that I can, but I'm not overdoing it, I'm not pushing myself beyond what I'm capable of at the moment. I mean, I'm stretching, I think, myself a little bit, because you always have to stretch in order to get better. You can't just, you can keep doing the same thing, but then you never get better. It's like with exercise, eventually your body just kind of, okay, we're used to this particular exercise, but if you want to keep building muscle, if you want to keep losing weight, you have to keep adding to it or changing the exercises to work on different muscles. So there's so many different exercise routines and things. So I'm trying to get to where I can do that. So that's what I'm trying to do. But it's baby steps, and I can only do so much, and I'm pushed myself too much like I did Thursday and Friday. I just wore myself out for Saturday and today. But I feel like I'm getting a little bit more energy back today, so I'm hoping I can get some sleep so I can work tomorrow because I have more bills that have to get paid. So, and I'm also hoping for bonuses and things tomorrow to help to pay the bills because I know I'm not going to be able to work a full 8-hour day, which I would like to be able to do. Which also makes me nervous when it comes to applying for jobs and doing interviews because I'm afraid they're going to want me to do 8-hour days, which would be awesome, except I don't currently have the energy to do that. So I'm hoping somehow I can find a job that will pay the bills that maybe doesn't require 8 hours a day to begin with anyway. But we'll see. I also got some emails and text messages today about possible interviews for this week. So I have to decide if I'm going to respond back to those. But I didn't feel like doing that today because it's Sunday. I'll figure it out another day. But I'm grateful that there's opportunities and stuff coming in just because I posted my resume places. I haven't even applied for that many jobs. So I'm grateful for that. I don't know that I'm necessarily getting things for jobs that I want to do or that I'm interested in doing. So I need to look into that a little bit more and maybe proactively start looking for and applying for jobs that I want to do to see if I can't get those ones. If I'm not interested in the ones that people are seeking me out to do, mostly because I feel like they're like sales jobs and I don't want to do sales. I've done sales in the past and I don't like sales. And I was thinking about that. I'm like, so my YouTube videos are kind of like sales too. But I was like, they're not because I'm not really making money. I'm not really selling anything. I'm just sharing what I'm doing. And at some point, yes, the goal is to advertise my books and my writing because that's what I'm working on. And this is my process in doing it. But it's taking a really long time, and I don't talk about my writing and what I'm doing every single day as far as writing. And I haven't done any writing on my books or working on my books this whole time I focused on today, which is sad because I did like 100 days of focused on my writing, and now I haven't done any, which I would like to be able to get back to. So, because it is always in the back of my mind, it is that thought, I want to finish this, I want to do this. So I need to be more proactive with that as well. But again, I come back to not doing more than I'm capable of doing or more than I'm able and just being diligent. So it comes back to baby steps. Slow and steady wins the race. You know, the turtle and the hare. The turtle goes nice and slow. The hare keeps running and stopping and running and stopping. And then the turtle wins. And my problem is I think sometimes I'm too much like the hare and I just run and then I stop and then I run and then I stop and then I need to be more like the turtle and just be okay with slow and steady and slow and steady. And sometimes slow and steady doesn't feel like I'm making any progress. It doesn't feel like I'm getting anywhere. I often feel stuck going slow and steady. But I am getting somewhere. It's just hard to see my progress because it's very slow. But I'm grateful for other people that remind me that I'm making progress, that remind me that it's slow and steady is okay, and it's the way to win the race. And and I'm working towards that. And I'm doing that with these videos. I'm doing that with the little things that I'm doing every day to try to rebuild my strength and my energy to get back into full-time capacity. And I'm feeling very blessed and grateful to be able to not stress about bills and things as much as I thought that I would be at this point, and that somehow things have worked out up to this point because I didn't have the savings or the money to do it, and it's all worked anyway. So I feel very blessed for that and very grateful, and I just need to continue to do the best that I can, and that's all I can do. And as long as I just I'm diligent and continue slow and steady, and I don't give up on myself, I will get there. I don't know when, I don't know how long it will take, but I will get there, and I am grateful to know that I will get there. And I was talking to my sister today because yesterday was our grandma's birthday, and she would have been 100 yesterday. She passed away when she was 96, so she was about 3.5 years shy of making 100. So we were talking about that because today is my sister's birthday, And a lot of times as we get older, we get to like midlife or whatever, and people talk about midlife crisis and all of those weird things. Um, we kind of were both talking about how it would be nice to live as long as our grandma did, because that means we still have more than half our life left to live. There's still so much left to do in life. So instead of looking back and thinking, oh, I messed up or I missed things growing up, or, I wish I could start over at my 20s again with everything I know now that I'm 40 or something, you know. But we don't have to go back and do that, because there's the realization that there's so much more ahead of us. There's so much more to look forward to, that we don't have to worry about what was in the past. That's what we've learned. That's what we can continue to learn from and grow and to change, and we can make our future, what we want it to be. But there's so much more time. It doesn't mean to put things off. It's that point of hope that there's so much more to do, and there's so much life left to live, that there's no reason to give up or feel depressed or discouraged like we're never going to make it. And I don't know how long I'm going to live. Maybe I'll live to my 80s, 90s. Maybe I'll be lucky to hit 100. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll be like my biological mom and die in my 60s. I don't know. I hope not. I really hope not. I hope that I can get myself healthier and better and not end up in that situation. But I know that God has a plan for me in my life, and He knows how long it's going to be. And I don't need to know, and I don't need to worry about that. I just need to remember that I have a future, that I have time, and that slow and steady wins the race. And I can take my time, and I don't have to stress. I don't have to race and wear myself out and then stop and then race and then wear myself out and then stop and then beat myself up for all the times I keep stopping along the way. So I need to stop trying to be the hare and playing catch up and trying to, all of that. I just need to go slow and steady and be okay with slow and steady. And I know every time I get a migraine or my head is hurting, I'm like, slow and steady is how I can move around the house and do stuff that needs to be done. And with this illness, slow and steady is the only way I can do anything or even function. And I can only do things halfway of what I used to be able to do, or maybe a quarter of what I used to be able to do. It's kind of frustrating, but it's still making progress as long as I don't give up, as long as I stay diligent and just keep doing the little pieces that I can do. And eventually I can add a little piece to each little piece that I'm doing. And it will probably take way longer than I want it to. I mean, it's already taken way longer than I wanted it to. But I'm making progress, and I'm grateful for the little reminders that I'm making progress, for the little scriptures, things that I can read, or little things in my meditation notes that jump out at me, that remind me that I'm okay, that I'm on the right path, that I'm doing good in spite of how I feel sometimes, and the reminder that feelings aren't facts, and just grateful for conversation with my sister, and the reminder that we do have a future and hope for a future, hope for a much longer life. And, if I've only lived half my life, I have half my life left to live. And there's so much more that I could do, especially since I know so much more now than I did when I was younger. And there's so much more for me to learn that I don't even have any idea about right now. And of course, there's still all the stuff I'm trying to learn as far as getting my books published too. So there's so much to learn. There's so much to do, and I have the time to do it, so I don't have to race. And I'm grateful for those reminders, because it brings me peace. It brings me comfort, and it helps me to be okay with who I am and where I am in my life today. And I am very grateful for that today. And that is all I have. And I hope that that is helpful, or maybe brings some insight or peace to anyone that's choosing to watch these videos. And if you like, you can hit like, subscribe, or share with someone else if you think they'll like it too. And I hope you have a great day full of gratitude, and maybe do some writing.